What if the monsters we fear most aren't the ones hiding in shadows, but the ones we call family, whispering secrets that taste like ash on the tongue and leave a chill like cold rain on bare skin? That question hit me hard in episode 10 of Kaya-chan Isn't Scary, which dropped on March 15, 2026, and streams exclusively on Crunchyroll. This episode sits right in the middle of the season's slow burn arc, where little Kaya's ghost-busting life at Hanamuji Kindergarten starts cracking open into something far darker. It's not just another day of punches and poltergeists. It feels like stepping into an old house where every creak echoes your own hidden pains, fear of being misunderstood, the weight of sacrifice, and the terror of not knowing who to trust. You sense it in the air. Something big is coming, and suddenly the kindergarten playground doesn't feel safe anymore. I was hooked from the first frame, heart racing like I just heard a door slam in an empty room at midnight. What truth is waiting behind that smile? You'll only know if you watch, and trust me, the need to find out will pull you in like gravity. I end this episode, split into bite-sized segments like hide and seek isn't scary, cameras aren't scary, and the gut punch closer Aunt Nana isn't scary. Kaya keeps quietly protecting her friends from things no one else can see, while her teacher Chia-sensei gets pulled deeper into the mystery. Picking up straight from the last episode's growing suspicions about Kaya's home life, we shift from playful ghost chases to a raw family standoff that flips everything on its head. No big spoilers here, but the tension builds like a storm you feel in your bones. One wrong step, and the fragile piece shatters. It's the kind of transition that leaves you leaning forward on the couch, whispering, "Wait, what just happened? Now, let's dive deeper." This is where the episode shines like a blade catching moonlight. The plot moves forward with perfect balance. Early segments keep the fun, fast-paced action we've come to love, Kaya's tiny fists flying like lightning in a clear sky, but the back half slows into a heavy, emotional storm. Key revelations drop like stones in still water, family secrets surface, old wounds reopen, and a sudden twist hits like a car crash you didn't see coming. The pacing? Spot on. It never drags. Instead, it builds suspense the way real-life family dinners turn tense when buried truths bubble up. Fans on Reddit and forums have been buzzing about the cloudy parts. Who's really the threat here, and what does that origami heart from Aunt Nana actually mean? Chia looks stunned when she peeks inside, and it leaves you guessing. Drawing from the original manga by Taro Yuri, I can clear the fog without ruining the anime's flow. This ties straight into the Ebisamori clan's dark history. In the source material around chapters that match this arc, we learn the clan once forced sisters into cursed pregnancies, sealing the womb with rituals to stretch the weight, twisting the unborn into a formless, hungry curse that rips the mother apart from the inside for raw power and wealth. Kaya herself? She's the survivor of one failed attempt, her soul mixed with an ancient spirit fragment. That context makes episode 10's lore dump crystal clear. It's not random horror. It's explaining why the monster brewing now feels personal, and why choices hit like echoes of ancient sacrificial rites in history. Think Roman families offering children for empire, or real-world cults trading lives for control. No confusion left. It all clicks, turning the episode from mystery to masterpiece. The characters feel alive, their hearts laid bare like open books you can't stop reading. Kaya stays that quiet force of nature, her little face hiding oceans of strength and loneliness, consistent with her protective core, but now laced with subtle growth as family shadows creep closer. Chia-sensei, voiced by the incredible Maya Uchida, steals the show. Her wide-eyed worry and fierce loyalty bloom here, transforming her from puzzled teacher to a mama bear ready to fight the world. Her inner thoughts scream like a mother's scream in a storm. You feel her fear that Aunt Nana might hurt Kaya too, even as she hands her over each day. Aunt Nana, Haruka Tamatsu, surprises with raw intensity. Her confrontation isn't cartoon villain stuff but a collision of pain and duty. And Kaya's mom? Her hidden wounds and quiet choices cut deep, making you question everything you thought you knew. These aren't flat kids show figures. They're people carrying scars like soldiers from forgotten wars, their dialogue sharp and heavy. Lines land like thunderclaps in a silent forest, foreshadowing pain that lingers long after the screen fades. One exchange especially, it echoes the raw truth-telling in classic films like The Godfather's family betrayals, but softer, more human, words that taste bitter yet true. The world-building here enriches everything without overwhelming. We get fresh layers on the clan's rules and rituals, turning the cute kindergarten into a battlefield where human greed feels scarier than any ghost. It complicates the universe beautifully, like adding shadows to a bright painting. Suddenly survival and hope clash in ways that feel real, not forced. Visually, it's stunning under art director Ayumi Sato and the team at East Fish Studio. Colors shift from warm kindergarten yellows to deep, cold blues in family scenes, lighting and shadows dancing like living things. Still moments freeze your breath, while quick cuts explode with energy. Director Hiroshi Ikatan nails the rhythm. Tight close-ups on trembling hands mirror the characters' souls, just like the shaky cam tension in horror classics such as The Exorcist. The animation flows smooth as water, every punch and glance packed with meaning. The soundtrack, composed by Kota Yamamoto and Shun Narita, acts like a silent character. Soft piano motifs haunt the quiet talks, then swell into crescendos that burn in your memory. Silence? It roars louder than any scream, letting the weight of truth sink in. Voice acting elevates it all. Azusa Tachibana as Kaya gives that pure, steady tone that breaks your heart. Mamiko Noto as the mom pours raw emotion that feels like a real mother's desperate plea. And Haruka Tamatsu's Nana delivers power with just the right tremor, embodying duty mixed with doubt. Emotionally, this episode left scars I can't shake. It made me feel the crushing weight of sacrifice, like watching a loved one step in front of a bullet in a war story, mixed with sparks of wonder at Kaya's unbreakable spirit. The climax hits as a true collision of destinies, hopes and despairs crashing together, shifting the whole story like an earthquake under your feet. It echoes universal questions we all carry. How far would you go for family? What if love and revenge wear the same face? I personally sat stunned afterward, heart echoing like footsteps in an empty hall, wondering how one little girl carries so much. Sure, some might call the lore dump a bit heavy or the pacing slower in spots, but that's no flaw. It's deliberate, like pausing in a thriller to let dread build, forcing you to feel every layer. The complexity mirrors real life. Truths aren't simple, they're messy, and that's what makes it powerful. Episode 10 succeeds completely in its goals, blending cute horror with deep heart, advancing the tale while leaving you breathless. Its strengths, those raw emotions, crystal clear lore payoff, flawless craft, far outweigh any tiny stumbles. Weaknesses? Only if you want easy answers. And this show never promised that. Also, here's the truth that lingers like a whisper in the dark. The ghosts were never the real scare. The real terror and the real hope waits in what comes next. Will you step into that kindergarten shadow and face it with Kaya? One click on Crunchyroll, and the story becomes yours. You won't just watch. You'll feel it in your bones, and you won't be able to look away.